Have you ever felt like you were trying harder than everyone else but still couldn't seem to keep up? Like no matter how organized you tried to be, it always felt like your brain was trying to work against you. That's exactly how I felt most of my life. After being diagnosed with ADHD on New Year's Eve last year, 8 months later I finally had my first titration appointment. But before we discuss medication, I think it's important I tell you first how I actually got here, because medication wasn't even my first choice. For years, I believed there was something fundamentally wrong with me. My brain never seemed to switch off. I'd lie in bed exhausted, trying to get to sleep. Yet my mind would replay conversations from years ago and jump from one thought to the next. I'd walk into a room and completely forget why I went into that room. I'd start tasks around the house and end up with 3 unfinished jobs because I'd get distracted from one job to the other. I constantly felt overwhelmed. Not because life was necessarily harder, but because my brain made even simple things a little more complicated. Over the years, different explanations were given, and I'm talking about from healthcare professionals: anxiety, depression, social phobia, PTSD. And because each diagnosis covered a small part of what I was experiencing, I accepted them. I spent years trying to treat those conditions, hoping that I would feel the same way everybody else does. But deep down, something still didn't fit. Then around about a year before I was diagnosed with ADHD, something happened which completely changed my entire direction in life. During a therapy session, my therapist asked me a question that I'd never even considered before. She looked me in the eye and said to me, "Have you ever considered that you might have ADHD? There seems to be a clear pattern of overthinking." So what did I do? I completely rejected the idea. I remember thinking, no, it can't be ADHD. I convinced myself that it had to be PTSD. In fact, I was so convinced I even tried to persuade my therapist that she was wrong. Looking back now, of course, I think that reaction was just pure in denial, because ADHD was never something that I'd even associated with myself. And like a lot of people, I had a stereotypical image of what ADHD was. I thought it meant someone who couldn't sit still, someone who was constantly hyperactive, someone who was constantly bouncing off the walls. That wasn't me, or at least that's what I thought. But despite dismissing it, her question stuck with me. I couldn't stop thinking about it. Eventually, curiosity got the better of me and I started to research ADHD. At first, my intention was simple. I just wanted to find evidence that my therapist was wrong. Instead, the exact opposite happened. The more I read, the more videos I watched, the more personal stories I listened to, the more it felt like someone had been secretly writing about my entire life. And for the first time, everything started making sense. The unfinished projects, the endless procrastination, the constant mental chatter, always feeling busy but rarely feeling productive, working twice as hard as everyone else just to keep up, feeling overwhelmed by things that other people seem to manage easily without even thinking about it. The more I reflected on my childhood, my education, my relationships, and even my career, the more it felt like the ADHD explanation described my life better than anything else ever did. Even then, I wasn't ready to just jump straight onto medication. I wanted to try every natural alternative first. So I started to exercise regularly because I read that exercise can help with the symptoms of ADHD. I'd practiced mindfulness, I'd tried medication, hell, I even tried hypnotherapy. I experimented with supplements such as ginseng, L-theanine, green tea, lion's mane. I even changed one of my long-standing medications, mirtazapine, to venlafaxine. Don't get me wrong, some of these things genuinely helped. I felt a little less stressed, a little less overwhelmed, my mood improved. But despite all of that effort, the core ADHD symptoms never really improved that much. The procrastination, the disorganization, the difficulty starting tasks, the racing thoughts, the feeling that my brain was pulling me in 10 different directions at the same time. I'd even completed several rounds of cognitive behavioral therapy over the years. And again, it helped in certain areas, but despite putting in all of the work, I still didn't feel like I was functioning in a way in which I knew I was capable of. Eventually, I reached a point of realization where I had to start being honest with myself. I'd spent years trying to do things naturally. I'd attended therapy, I'd exercised. I'd genuinely given it everything I had, and yet life still felt way harder than I believed it ever should. And that's when I made one of the most difficult decisions in my life. Following my therapist's advice, I booked in to see my GP and asked for an ADHD assessment. I still had doubts, of course. Part of me wondered if I was just wasting everybody's time. Part of me worried about being labelled. But part of me hoped for the first time in years there might actually be an explanation for all of this. And that decision eventually led to my ADHD diagnosis, and 8 months after that diagnosis, I finally received the email I'd been waiting to receive. My first ADHD titration appointment had been booked. I'll never forget how I felt after reading it, excited, hopeful, but at the same time incredibly nervous. Because one question kept whirling around in my head after 38 years of struggling. Could this be the time that I can actually start to turn my life around? Let's talk about what happened in that appointment. And so after 8 months of waiting, my first titration appointment. I'll be honest, I was excited, but also a little bit nervous. Not because I was worried about taking medication, but because this was such an important moment. After years of wondering why my brain worked like the way it did, now was this the time I was about to discover something new? So the appointment lasted around 35 minutes, and I soon realised that it wasn't a case of just writing a prescription. Before prescribing anything, the clinician wanted to get an idea about my health profile to make sure that any medication suggested would be suitable. The first thing that we talked about was my heart health and the heart health of my family's history. This is something that I'd thought about before the appointment because I'd read that stimulant medication can make your heartbeat go faster and it can slightly raise your blood pressure. She asked whether I had any heart problems myself or there was a history of heart disease in my family. So I explained that my grandfather had a heart attack in his 50s, my mum had a stroke when she was 47, and my brother was recently diagnosed with familial hypercholesterolemia. Naturally, I wondered whether I could even get any medication with such a history. I did, of course, brag about the fact that my cholesterol test was recently normal and I had a recent ECG which also came back normal. Once we discussed that, we moved on to my lifestyle. She asked how often I smoked, how often I drinked, how often I exercised. And then she asked me about caffeine, and I smiled a little bit at that question. Because if there's one thing I've relied upon over the years more than anything else, it's probably caffeine. So I admitted I probably drink a little bit more than I should. She then asked me what medications I take, so I told her I take venlafaxine, omeprazole, I take an inhaler, for reflux and asthma. She then asked me about my height and weight and reviewed everything that we'd discussed. And then came the moment I'd been waiting for. She was about to tell me what medication she was going to recommend for me. She paused for a few seconds before explaining which medication she was going to suggest for me. She recommended I start taking lisdexamfetamine, and for a minute I was very quiet. I just started taking it all in. And then the first thing I thought was, an amphetamine. I'll be honest though, after a few moments, hearing those words brought me a huge sense of relief. Not because I thought medication would solve anything overnight, but because after 30 years of waiting, I might actually be able to move forwards a little bit with this. She suggested for the first 2 weeks I take 30 milligrams of lisdexamfetamine each day and then increase it to 50 milligram of lisdexamfetamine each day, and then we have another appointment in 4 weeks to review how I'm getting on with this medication. She reassured me that titrating you onto a medication isn't about getting you on the highest dose possible, but it's about getting you onto the right dose and the right medication for you. That really stuck with me, and she emphasised that everybody's journey is different. She advised me that because lisdexamfetamine is a stimulant, I should take it in the morning before midday, otherwise it'll keep me awake at night, and she advised that I should monitor my blood pressure regularly as well. However, she gave me one of the biggest challenges I think I've had in years: to cut down on caffeine, because if I'm taking lisdexamfetamine, which is a stimulant, and drinking copious amounts of caffeine, this is going to increase my heart rate and increase my blood pressure even more. Another really important of the process is to keep a symptom diary, your symptoms before medication, as you start medication, and just record your findings on a day-by-day basis. And then we take the diary to the second titration appointment in 4 weeks' time and track the progress and see how I'm getting on, review whether the medication is right for me, review whether the dose is right for me, and come up with a plan moving forwards. At the time of recording this video, I haven't actually taken my first tablet. I'm waiting for the medication to be posted out to me. So I still feel like I'm a little bit on the starting line, but after 38 years of suffering with ADHD, I'm about to find out if medication can actually make any difference. Do I think it's going to be a miracle cure? No. Will there be any side effects? Possibly. Do I think it's going to work for me? I can't really be sure. But one thing I can promise you is that I will update you on my progress. If you want to find out if this medication can really be life-changing, don't forget to subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you in the next one.